Hey, welcome back, lawn amateurs. It's that time of the year already, huh? Well, let's go. Okay, so welcome back, lawn amateurs. Thanks for tuning in to another video. I know you guys haven't seen me in a long time, about a little over a month, maybe. Well, just right around a month. But I've been working very hard. My job picked up, so I had to pick up some extra hours and some extra time. But I know you guys didn't see me, but I did do a lot of the things I said I was gonna do, like as far as fixing my fence. I actually did fix the fence in the back, the main fence. I still got to do the side fence over here to the right. I cut back some of the trees so I can get a little extra sunlight, and I still want to cut back a little bit more, but right now I'm gonna hold off. It's perfectly fine for now. I'm getting enough sunlight back here so I can continue on with the lawn renovation as planned. But enough about that. Let's talk about my backyard lawn renovation supplies that I have been picking up over the last month that I'm gonna use on this backyard. It's gonna help me obtain a successful lawn renovation. Remember last year when I did the front yard, I didn't use half of these supplies, so I learned my lesson from the front yard. So now I'm gonna apply the knowledge that I got from the front yard onto the backyard. See, that was practice. This is the main event right here. So let's get into it. All right, so let's talk about some of these supplies here. So I think the most important ingredient into doing a lawn renovation when you want to smoke off your current yard. Some people can salvage some of their yard, but if you got a yard like mine, it's a complete salad bar of a yard, and I can't save anything. There's no grass back here. There's a bunch of weeds, crabgrass, nutsedge, everything. You name it, I got it in the backyard here. I'll take you on a little tour in the backyard to show you what I'm working with. All right, so we're in the yard here, and I just wanted to show you guys the work I've been doing. As you see, remember the fence back here was broke. I repaired that. Everything is all set there. I still got my corner here where I gotta fix the corner, and I gotta get this pile of wood out. But someone is coming to help me take that out later on this week, so that'll be gone. Over here in my second coffin corner, I discovered a lot of these rocks that were all in this area right here. If you check it out, I was digging out, and I just kept hitting with the shovel, and I'm like, what is this? And pretty much all these stones actually came out of the ground here. So I'm gonna remove all of those. This area should be fine. So I'm gonna get a little soil, even it back out, have everything back nice and flat. When you're doing a lawn renovation, that's one of the things you really want to worry about is rocks, anything that can obstruct the root growth or anything going on. So I had that little problem in the front. Also, if you want to take a look back, that was one of my early videos. But I did have a little rock fest that I was actually finding in the soil, and I was wondering why I couldn't get any growth out of it. But that is the worst. I'm guessing maybe someone before I lived here had like a little patio thing set up here, and that's what I was actually thinking about doing myself right here. And I always wondered why this area didn't grow a lot of grass, even when I did have grass back here when I first moved in. This area was always dead, so that was the reason why. I actually chopped a couple of the trees back, as you see here. I didn't get as many as I like, but I did cut a couple, quite a few, and I cleaned it up. Those little branches were that was already there. I piled a little bit more on, but I removed the other one, the other tree stumps and all the branches. I got those out of here. But as you can take a look here and just take a look at the grass. The grass, look, is not even grass. Like I said, I don't even know why I keep calling it grass. This is crabgrass, and nutsedge, and anything you want to name it. It's one big old salad bar. You can find anything you like in here. It's an eyesore. So just wanted to give you a little tour of the yard, but everything is fine. We're gonna work it out real nice. And this is the perfect time. Once you get everything burnt out real nice and you're down to the bare soil, that's when you can actually find out a lot about your soil. You can do a soil test before you do your renovation, just to see where your pH levels are at or anything. So just a quick little yard update. I think after I want to get the yard started, but I am gonna paint my fence. Like I said to you before in a previous video about the renovation and everything I wanted to do back here. So this was one of the most important things, was just getting the fence fixed, getting this grass seed and everything going, the lawn renovation going. I am going to paint the fence. It's just I'm time strapped right now, and pretty much everything is gonna work out. Don't worry. So I just want to give you a quick yard update. All right, so we're gonna tune in. We're gonna take it back to the table. The most important ingredient is your Roundup, the glyphosate active ingredient inside this bottle here. Now, when you want to use this ingredient, you want to be careful, because a lot of people been saying this Roundup ingredient here is causing cancer, allegedly causing cancer. So any ingredients that you use on the yard or spraying around the house or anything, you want to use proper PPE anyway. So just be careful, be mindful of others and your surroundings, water wells, everything. So when you're using this chemical here, just, you know, be very, very cautious and careful. Use proper PPE, use an N95 mask, anything you have to use to keep yourself covered. Don't expose your skin to it or anything. But like I said, this is the 50% glyphosate. Last year I used I want to say the 14%. I think it was a Walmart brand, eliminator brand, but it's still the same active ingredient, glyphosate. This is very important when you want to smoke off the yard. This will kill just about anything. Any green leaf that it touches is going to kill it. I don't know, maybe nutsedge might put up a little fight, but the higher the concentrate, the better. So I'm going to be using my 50% glyphosate, and I actually caught a couple of these bottles on sale last season for about $11 a bottle, and these bottles really think go for about $50+ a bottle. So that was a great deal, but be careful. My next ingredient that I'm going to use to actually help the glyphosate break down on the plant a lot better, or stick to the plant a lot better, is my surfactant. This right here, I bought this at Tractor Supply, and mind you, none of these products on this table are sponsors. These are just products I picked up over time that is going to help me with my lawn renovation. But the surfactant here is going to work with the glyphosate and help break down that waxy coating, that protective layer on your plants or your grass, anything that you want to kill. So using a surfactant, you'll help stretch out this glyphosate and help it basically you could use less. Instead of using maybe 3 or 4 applications with using a surfactant, you might end up just using 1, possibly 2. So a surfactant is very, very important. I bought this bottle, it was about, I think, 12 to maybe $15 at Tractor Supply. It's a 1-gallon bottle. I think it's worth it. You can use also, if you don't have the money or you don't want to use like big fancy chemicals. This is not really fancy, but $12. If you don't got $12, you can use like any Dawn dish detergent. Sorry about that. Just make sure it doesn't have any antibacterial killer inside of it or anything like that. Just a regular blue Dawn soap. You can catch one of those bottles on sale for about $1, or you can use Johnson & Johnson baby shampoo as a surfactant. But when you're using those other chemicals as a surfactant, you want to use want to make sure you're using a proper amount, because you will get foaming if you use a little too much with the soap and the shampoo. This right here contains a defoamer, so it would not suds up or foam up. So you're getting straight surfactant, improved wetting and spreading of the chemical onto that plant or grass, whatever you want to kill. Okay. My next chemical here, well, it's not a chemical, but it's a market blue dye. This is going to help save you some time, just in case if you're spraying and you want to know where you left off at. This is going to help mark it for you. It's like it's a blue dye. Spray it. Say if you have to leave in the middle of your renovation or anything you're spraying, and you want to pick up where you left off at, you could be able to see on the grass wherever you left off. So you want to use a little bit of the blue marker dye. This bottle was maybe about $6 to $8 Amazon. So if you want to go ahead and give them a shot, get a little bottle of this, little 8-ounce bottle. One of the most expensive chemicals on this table that I picked up and I'm going to use for the first time on this lawn renovation is Tenacity. Now, last year when I did my lawn renovation last year in the front, I did not use any form of Tenacity or weed killer while I was planting my grass seeds. And if you want to take a look back at that video, you can see that it came out pretty bad with the weeds. I was fighting off weeds with the grass growing, and it was horrible. And I said to myself, I would never do that again. It was very stressful. Took a lot of work. I mean, you can do it. I've done it, but this time I want the renovation to go as smoothly as possible. So I went and picked up a bottle of this Tenacity. Tenacity normally runs, you can catch it anywhere between $55 and $70, depending on where you purchased the Tenacity from. And it sounds like a lot, but this product goes a long way because you have to use so little of it. You're probably using maybe 1 to 2 teaspoons, and they give you a little measuring tool inside here to help measure it out depending on how much you need to use. So you're only using maybe, like I said, 1 or 2 teaspoons of this product. It's a good product to have. It'll save you time. It'll help fight off those weeds and basically form a protective barrier over the soil while your grass seeds are germinating. And I think it works. I think it's very worth the investment if you want to save time. Like I say, you don't really need it, but it's totally up to you. Now you have another alternative over here to my right, and you have the Scott's starter fertilizer here. Now this is the Scott starter fertilizer, and it also has the active ingredient Tenacity in it. So if you can't, or if you don't have the money to actually pick up a bottle of the actual Tenacity itself, you can use the Scott starter fertilizer with Tenacity in it. Only thing about this product here is that the Tenacity ingredient inside this bag is not as potent as the actual liquid form Tenacity. So you probably still will get some kind of weeds if you have them very pesky weeds like crabgrass and nutsedge growing in your soil already. So you won't get 100% weed preventer out of this bag. You're still gonna have to fight some weeds later on. But this bag only runs about maybe $35. It's not bad for what you get, but you're still gonna have to fight off some weeds in due time. You'll still have some weeds, that the real tough ones that you didn't actually kill, because with the glyphosate here, you're still gonna have some of those weeds that are still gonna try to fight through the soil, like the pesky ones, like I just said, like the crabgrass and nutsedge. Those are the only real pesky weeds that just keep coming back. They do not die, and it's hard. Once you get crabgrass and weeds in your lawn, they are very hard to get off. Even poana too. Those weeds are the tricky weeds, and they like to fight to the end. They do not give up. But like I said, $35 for $35 to $40 for the starter fertilizer with Tenacity, the active ingredient Tenacity in it. The active ingredient is actually mesotrione, and it's only about 0.08% in the starter fertilizer bag. So that's very, it's not even a tenth. So it's not that much in there, but you can get the job done with it. I've used this Tenacity with the starter fertilizer during the spring on my front lawn, and it did a great job. I still had some crabgrass that came up anyway that fought through, and like I said, it's a weed preventer, so it's not a weed killer. So if you already have the weed germinating in the lawn, the starter fertilizer with Tenacity would not kill it. Just remember that it's a weed preventer, not a weed killer. Weed preventer is okay, so you killed off the yard, you're down to your bare soil, then you can use the weed preventer, and that'll prevent the seeds with the weed seeds from actually germinating. So if you already got the weed seed germinating and is already sprouting, this would not kill it. So just let's clarify that now. Last but not least, I got a 2-gallon pump sprayer. It's a cheap one. Got it from Walmart in the off season. It was about $5. Doesn't really matter. Some people, like I have 2,000 square feet back here in the backyard. I think the Roundup per 1 gallon, I believe it covers 300 square feet. So I know I'm gonna have to refill this container a few times. Some people prefer to go ahead and buy one of those backpack sprayers for, you know, 4-gallon backpack sprays. I don't really care. I'll fill up a few times and make sure I get the job done. This will get me back here in the yard, so I can know my lawn, know what I'm dealing with, look around, see what and just basically become one with your lawn here, so you know what you're dealing with. The most important part of doing a lawn renovation is timing. You want to make sure that you're going to give yourself enough time for your grass seeds to actually germinate, and then leave it enough time for you to actually get about 3 mows. I want to say 3 to 4 mows down, and help them roots grow deep, strong, right before your first frost. See, a lot of people mess up on that point. They start the renovation a little too late, and then they end up with the next following season when spring kicks in, the grass doesn't grow back strong, or it doesn't come in at all. And that's because you didn't give your grass seed enough time to germinate and grow stronger that previous season in the fall. You got to know the grass seed that you want to actually sow into the grass. You want to if you want to do like a Kentucky bluegrass, you're kind of pushing it at this point, because Kentucky bluegrass takes almost, I want to say, maybe 21 days to germinate. Sometimes a little even longer than that. So right now, you got to know your climate also. I live in Northeast Connecticut, so my first frost date normally comes, I want to say, that first to mid-October week. So right now, I'm right on that edge of the 6 to 8 weeks. So 8 weeks probably from today would be that first week of October for me. That's 8 weeks. But I haven't decided really if I'm gonna do a tall turf fescue back here, or if I'm just gonna do like a mixture of ryegrass, fescue, and bluegrass. I think more than likely I'm leaning towards my fescue. I love my fescue look. But that leaves me probably right enough time for the seed that I'm going to use. If the one I am probably going to use, it takes 7 to 14 days to germinate. So that'll give me enough time to get 3 mows down, feed it, and then prepare it for that first frost. So my roots can grow deep, nice strong roots, so the next year it'll bounce back and everything will work fine. The front yard I did, it bounced back, not 100%, because I was dealing with the corner, that coffin corner that I like to call it, but it finally came in. Everything is fine. You've seen you could watch the previous videos, but that's just one of the most important rules. Just give yourself enough time for your grass seeds to germinate and the roots to grow strong. That's most important. Know your climate. Know your grass seed also. You don't need to use expensive top-notch grass seed. As long as you take care of your grass seed and you sow it in properly into your soil, you'll be fine. All the fancy grass seed is just, to me, is pretty much like marketing almost. I know a lot of people won't like to hear that, but it's pretty much facts. You might get some grass seed that perform better than others. You know, you do pay a little bit more, but overall, whatever grass seed you choose, as long as you take care of it and maintenance it properly, you're gonna get a nice green lush lawn. Now the texture and the color might come out a little different. Some grass seeds like Kentucky 31 is on the lighter green side. It only can go but so dark. You get tall turf fescue, Kentucky bluegrass, ryegrass. They go a little bit darker grasses. And then you have your other grasses, the specialty grasses that a lot of people like to jump on. And they're paying $60 and $70 for a bag of 10 pounds of grass seed. If you can't afford it, stay away from it. It's all about what you can afford, what you like. Get what you like. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. So that's what I always say. I do what I like to do. I learn as I go along. I'm not trying to compete with anybody or perform with anybody and buy all fancy stuff that I can't afford. I'm just doing what I like to do. And pretty much me working in my yard, it gives me great joy and pleasure, and I like to do it myself. So I'm a DIY guy, so me growing the grass back here probably is going to be the best feeling, because if you can see this grass, it's terrible. It's not even grass, like I said. It's strictly weeds, 100%. I'm sorry about the noise. Got some neighbors doing a little yard work themselves. So, but let me wrap the video up. Thanks for tuning back in. Any questions, guys, leave the comments below. I appreciate you guys tuning back in. And we're going to get this done. So, take care.